So, orientation's locked. So, I guess we have this other phone for phone calls. My regular phone. Is that what we're doing? Because I have this other phone right here. My videotaping at the same time. What exactly are we doing? Make sure I cover the light switch. There we go. Yeah, the thumbnail, I couldn't get it to go right. I'm still working on how to do this. So they've been talking this morning. I guess I can videotape this so that I can just go on video on this one. I don't think I can cover both at the same time. No, I can. Like that. I'm trying to get both cameras together. It's just hard to cover the light switch on both cameras at the same time. I haven't figured out how to do more than one camera at a time. I think I might have gotten without the one phone being in front of the other. I think I got it. Down here. All right, well, how do we do this? Okay, the orientation has to be up and down for Instagram and Facebook. Horizontal for, here we go, we got comments. Okay, so I'll have to come forward. Yeah, there's no way to cover both light switches at the same time unless I'm, I don't know, both right exactly in front of each other, I guess. How's that? Well, then you got the other phone. Yeah, you see the phone. It's not. Okay, well, it's live, so let's start talking. I have my phone right here. I have it on video, but it's not covering. It's all right. No, I think that's good. Like that. Oh, then I can't see the comments. 5 people watching already. Okay, they just did a prayer in my head. In the name of Jesus Christ, amen right now. I got a cult leader currently still being held hostage by the Latter-day Saints. Let's start recording. All right, let's... Okay, so I'm live on YouTube. I'm going to videotape on this one of what I'm hearing in the comments right now in my mind as I hear the voices of Latter-day Saints who've been holding me hostage for 49 years using your remote technology, mind control technology that I would like the United States government and a part of what's been happening with investigations of 49 years of my life dealing with the cult of the Latter-day Saint Church. Right now, I've continued to listen to my brother, William Sheppard Jr., call himself the Antichrist. Literally say he's doing things in secret, they call sacred, but the things that he's doing is so disgusting and repulsive that they talk about how he vomits in a mouth and they're my children, and that he's been shitting in their mouth, feeding them his shit, and feces, crap, whatever the tags are for excrement, what comes out of your body, and then having sex with their bodies. Apparently, originally, right after my mom died, there was images of him with my mom's hand cut off, eating popcorn with my mom's hand. But apparently, according to the script that I've been given, is that it's a ritual for Latter-day Saints to keep dead people alive, and that they continue to have sex with dead bodies. And that my mother, she was not, she was dug up or not really buried, and that part of the Latter-day Saints, Temple Mormons, know about this. My mom didn't want to have a funeral because she didn't want people showing up and then end up making it where they would charge money for all kinds of things and make it where I wouldn't get my inheritance, which has happened anyway. Even though they say I'm excommunicated and I'm an apostate, they continue to hold me hostage utilizing this technology. I know it's my brother, William Sheppard Jr., but the worst thing is being able to see his face or his wife's face as they do things like branding with, last night or recently, it was with a blow dryer, and stuck it through her body. It was my daughter. And the problem is that being that I'm out on a situation because of one of my daughters. And so I have to be really careful when I say daughters and which daughter I'm allowed to talk about. So the script is very vague, because I'm basically gagged with a gag order. I sent out a message to the Greeley police months ago, and I sent it tagged to Kim Shear, who used to be a probation officer. Now, for 19 years, the claim is that Killian Shear has held my daughter hostage and believes that he can call her a prostitute while she has been a teacher. And she also has continued to work doing dog grooming. And the fact that he has continued in my mind technology to put his voice through my head utilizing an app and calling himself also the Antichrist. So since I have impersonators of other people impersonating other people, but to be held by this technology to know that it's been utilized for the United States government Secret Service since the 70s. I also am very aware that how they use this technology of remote viewing to help people with disability, the elderly, and people with mind control to be able to help to see. When they're seeing is reading, helping them to be able to interpret languages. From the time I was young in the 70s, I was able to understand and interpret anything because I had interpreters, because I was a part of IT technology and I was it. As a part of it in the network, I literally had at my disposal all kinds of people from all around the world. These people were educated people, highly educated. I have been able to listen to conversations of congressmen, of the Senate, and of sentences, and of actually hearings of people swearing under oath. Well, my father has been under investigation my entire life, from as long as I can remember, because for being what I thought was a right activist. And in the fact that the theory is that he, and which is hard to go into too, because I literally want to keep him out of my conversation. And also my sisters, anybody who calls me family. But at the moment, the hardest thing is with that is the fact that I don't feel supported by them. I feel really hurt by them. I don't feel like I have the right support. I don't think I've ever had really the right support except my mother, who passed away December 5th, 2022. When it's come down to it, I've been the person that's paid for anything and everything, and I've paid people back. And I very few times in my life have ever asked anybody for anything. In fact, that will be the biggest question. What has Susan done for you, and what have you done for her? Because right now, as people want to call me their prostitute, and I know I've never received a penny directly for prostitution money. I live in a prostitution ring run by, my belief is, Social Security Administration and the government of the United States and the world economy. This is a part of the situation, is this hostage situation that we don't talk about, especially when it gets used by mind control by nonprofits, religious organizations, and politicians. Not only that, but how we utilize it in Hollywood, as I know that I've been a part of Hollywood my entire life. So right now, I was asked to go live, and I'm live right now, and it says I have one viewer, and I'm at 10 minutes and 25 seconds on YouTube. And I'm currently at 6 minutes and 33 seconds on my video that I'm just recording live on a video that I can upload. So right now, being that I have people talking, but we start off this video with someone praying. So the fact that it's been William Sheppard Jr. over and over saying, I can't let you see what I've been doing with this rites of passage. But being that it was said, and the images that they put through our minds was a blow dryer going through a body and burning a body with a blow dryer, saying that it was my daughter. Being that I've been listening to now for years all these types of threats of violence, and that I called the Layton police and let them know that if my daughter Sarah or Malia, which I am allowed to state who I had my birth children and their names, and the fact that what happened is I called the Layton police and I asked them to reach out to my daughter at the time, because I'm allowed to state exactly the facts. You know, the problem with this gag order and saying I have a protection order and that you want to put me in prison. I'm out on bail right now because I broke the protection order somehow, which I don't know how, except that I'm finding out from my mind technology that they're claiming that I sent an email that I somehow directly deserve to spend my life in prison, according to what William Sheppard Jr. has been threatening my life for many months now, claiming he's going to do anything possible. Just like when I got pulled over in my mom's car that I still can't prove is mine in Kansas, and I was given a misdemeanor because I couldn't prove, even though I went to the state of Colorado and asked for temporary tax, they could not give me temporary tax. They said I got to get a testamentary and I have to go through probate. Well, unfortunately, that never happened. And the fact that I got an email from my brother blaming me, and all I get is on his end is it's on my fault. But I got a disturbing message from my fake sister, Shirlene, who looks Asian, and I know she's not my blood-related sister. But the fact that I've hardly known her in my entire life, I've had very few conversations, I really don't like to even mention her. But because I'm dealing with identity fraud and having to hold her responsible for running a prostitution ring with my brother, William Sheppard Jr. And that's the claim, is that she's been pretending to be me and impersonating me most of my life. So the fact that I'm stuck with her, that I do believe they're both very evil. I do believe that they're both the Antichrist. I do believe that they're devil worshipers. I do think that she's fake when she talks about God. I don't believe a thing she says. I don't believe a thing that my father or my brother say. I think they're all fake. So the fact that I feel like that for me, I would like to just state truth and facts as much as possible, which I haven't been allowed to do. And that's part of what I have an issue with in America, is be able to have a gag order, or to be able to make it where somebody says that they have a cease and desist for me to speak. Because right now I'm dealing with a prostitution ring. We're listening to my brother and seeing images of him having sex with his own children and his grandchildren, but also animals. And knowing that he continued to talk about him having sex with an animal, to show images of him having sex with a baby, and also since he was 16 years old with bishops. So the fact that I've been involved with these investigations for 49 years, listening to and understanding that priesthood holders in the Latter-day Saint Church are pedophiles. It is a part of the ordinances of a priesthood holder. They are definitely in a rape game, and they rape each other for money. And that is a part of being a Temple Mormon. Now, it is my belief that because it's a paid membership, and I've never been a part of that part, but I've been a part of the investigations of that part, because they took my money 51 years ago. The statements are that under oath, my father, William Sheppard Sr., made a statement claiming that he did in fact take me, which right now, which is what's happening, is people for this game or this prostitution ring, they get given a baby. And I do know for a fact I was born, or said to be born, in Fillmore, Utah. It was also said that when they actually uploaded the information, as I'm a walking projector, that, well, we aren't going to go there. Okay. So I guess we're going to pause there and see where we're at with that. Since I've had to listen to them take credit for me and my children and wanting our money. So since we do know for a fact that it's me and my children that have money, and that we have people claiming that they make money from funerals, and I do know that that's a fact, that they make money by having weddings and funerals. And that's the biggest issue right now, really, is the fact that in America, that you're not safe because they plan your funeral. And the people right now that continue to say that they want money is because they held a funeral for my children that they claim they killed. So we'll pause it there. So they're talking right now. I can hear my father's voice right now, talking right now. Yeah. Yeah. So currently right now I can hear my father talking in the background. Now, there's been very few times in my life I've been around my father. When I have been around him, it was for his benefit. Usually it's, he was going to help me with, his business, because I was interested in utilizing technology and becoming a healthcare worker, working with medical professionals. I've always looked up to my father as a very brilliant man, a very smart man, a very educated man. But at this point right now, I'm very in fear for my life of what's happening, because I do feel like that when I've asked him for help, he has not had my back. And that's the issue I have right now, is the fact that I don't know who to trust, but I do know that I have a hard time trusting him. So I sent him a message letting him know, do not directly contact me. Same thing as my sister and my brother already actually set that up, and I had to contact the court when he was setting it up about this whole thing about attempting to make a gag order of me speaking. But yet they continue to speak in my mind. And the worst thing is listening to my children cry and scream and have no way to report this, when I've already sent messages to the CIA, to the FBI. I've also called the White House twice. And so right now, I need proof of life of my children, which I have not been able to prove that they're alive, which by asking it for proof of life, I keep getting told that that's breaking a protection order. I have people claiming that they're dead and they want money for their death, and that they're attempting to put me in a mental hospital, which I was already held hostage for 7 weeks, and I was raped in there, and I was tortured in there. And being that there is no will of state or ward of state, which I heard yesterday, that because of my mom's house and me paying the taxes and utility and the insurance, that someone in my mind technology was claiming that he was a bishop and that he was working on making me a ward of the state in the state of Utah. Where they held me hostage and they cut my tongue and called me a snake. And they cut my whole body up, and they hang people on crosses at Christmas, which Christmas is coming up again, and they human sacrifice. And it's also my testimony that they're cannibals and that they eat people. Okay, well, I'm still going live right now, but I'm still listening to, again, these people just talking and talking and not producing anything. I mean, it's hard to believe almost virtually anything these people say inside your mind, which makes it completely frustrating to know that people can take over your mind. And it's illegal not to read. It's not, I mean, it's illegal not to read. These people are supposed to be reading and they don't read for you. And I remember that being an issue for my mom on this network, was the fact that she did not want to be a reader. But knowing that I've had no rights when it's come to them literally saying prayers, really sick ass, disgusting prayers in my mind. And that's what's disgraceful. And that's what's terrible and also disgusting, because I can hear them low whispering, at a very low whispering, and doing rituals. And, you know, they have sex with these men do, these priesthood men, in the ass and in their mouth. And they have sex where they take it from their ass and then they put it in each other's mouths. And it's just so disgusting to listen to someone talk after they have shit in their mouth. And also that they will crap inside of each other's mouths. And it's just, it's so disgusting also to know having sex with dead bodies, but the idea that you would want to impersonate a dead person while you're having sex. But that my brother's wife would want to pretend to be my mother, and my brother would want to pretend to be my father while having sex with his wife. And that is part of their ritual and part of what they're considering a religion. But my testimony is they run a prostitution ring, a pedophilia ring, and that they're handlers. He considers that he owns me. He calls me a slave. So therefore, to me, it's a business arrangement, which I've never made a penny from. And they call me the prostitute because they steal all my money. They take all my money. And it's my testimony that I'm the wealthiest woman in the world, and I'm actually a queen, because they stole my money 51 years ago and they continue to use it. And with all these investigations for 49 years, I believe the United States government can prove it's my money. So I've been posting on social media, but being that my brother's been trespassing on my property, saying that he showed up there so he could virtually kill me, that he's been able to shut my hearing off. He takes credit for being able to shut my hearing off. The fact that there's been people taking credit for being able to adjust my eyesight, that because I am someone that you can adjust my eyesight virtually, and they have proven that. They also brag that they can adjust the smells of what you can smell and what you can taste. They're trespassing. The house that they're in, it is my belief that I have a 25-foot picture, and that I had a Fabergé egg that I heard that my sister, my fake Asian looking sister, Shirlene, who was evil, who I don't want to ever talk to again. And I made that so many times clear, as the fact that I have had very limited conversation in my life. I've hardly ever been around her. I don't know her, and I know she doesn't know me. And I also know that there's very limited experience or exposure to William Sheppard Jr. and even William Sheppard Sr. There is very little they would know about me, because I also know I know very little really personally about them. So I know for a fact on my end that I can state that these are people who I know nothing really about. And I know they know very little about me other than what I've been posting and what they've been seeing, which they don't want to know much about me. And they're on my property trespassing, talking about themselves. If you're not in my best interest and you're trespassing, the United States government needs to get you off my property. It's my testimony that none of these fake people and every Latter-day Saint needs to evict off my properties. You evicted me from my mother's house after I was paying for the insurance. I was paying for the taxes. I was paying for the utilities. You gave me a 3-day restitution order. I attempted to get attorneys, and for almost $4,400, they did not help me, and that's part of a lawsuit. That's part of holding you guys accountable of the exact situation of what you've done. Because it will be proven. The fact that you had me leave and I was not allowed to take hardly anything with me. I left my moon rock, which was given to me, that was from the moon, a priceless artifact. And now you totally destroyed that house. You took out an expensive bush that I spent a lot of money and time taking care of, to sit there and add fertilizer and water it and make sure that it would stay alive and keep it alive, which added to that property, and it's gone now. So to have him totally hack up that yard, and I heard that he shit in the tub and in the sink, and that he actually did things to destroy that house. So if you're going to make a protected property, which I'm already having Judge Faust looked into for making this 3-day restitution order in the first place, because I had a will. And just because you don't have a will registry doesn't change the fact that John Buckley will be held responsible for the fact that there is a will. He helped make that will. My mother believed that we had a will, and America Federal Credit Union will be on the line. Because my mom, the last words that she said was she believed that America Federal Credit Union was going to make things right. Now they have my cash. They have gold that's tied to my social security number, and I've not received any credit for this money. So I'm being told again, I killed your children, and I can't tell whose voice that is because it's like a crying voice right now at 22:22 on my video. On the one that I'm videotaping. On live, it's at 27:31, which is a couple of seconds prior to that, but around 27:27. Go to that. Okay, yeah, it's 8:02. It's on the 4th. And I just barely extended where I'm at, knowing that I'm at risk and what's happening. I'm out on bond. I paid $1,000 because I apparently have a warrant that I didn't know about. I wasn't in this state. I was out of state. But apparently they believe they notified me that I would have a warrant. I did not understand that. No, I did not. I just paid until the first hearing I'll ever have in my first jail experience. Or no, it was prison. Yeah, jail's after you get a sentence. It was prison for a day for a few hours. I bailed out for $1,000. I just paid $5,777, I believe it was. But since I've been here, I have cash missing and my netbook, and I'm dealing with, they said they fired the thief, but I have to have, luckily for Wells Fargo, they made it where I still have, well, I've never been stolen from anywhere I've ever been, but I have to state exactly what's happening, because right now, it was part of my production. It was supposed to help me to produce, and it's tied into my T-Mobile. It's brand new. It's logged into my Google, and I have not gotten it back, and I've asked. So I know that the manager's supposed to be here downstairs right now. but I was asked to go live, so I'm waiting right now for these people who claim that I'm going to go live and that they're going to have to tell the real story about what's happening, because you continue to threaten me while I'm on bond and I have a court hearing for December 3rd. So all these accusations that you keep doing, you need to prove something. I'm not going to let you send me messages when you're threatening me. I've already made it clear I don't want nothing to do with William Sheppard Jr., Sr., Shirlene. I have no other family members. I don't have any friends that I'm communicating with that right now I'm going to put on record and go live about currently. So right now it's my testimony that anybody on my property that's not with the United States government, that's not a Latter-day Saint. If you're a Latter-day Saint and you're any type of part of the government and you're pretending that you are, I have nothing to do with you, because I wouldn't trust a thing you say. You're fake. You run a prostitution ring, a pedophilia ring. You put animals in and out of humans. You hold people hostage in hospitals, in your mind technology and mind control. I wouldn't try. I have a right to choose who I'm going to say is really investigating anything. I wouldn't believe a thing somebody who's a Latter-day Saint puts in writing. They lie for a living. They don't tell the truth. They make sure everything's not the truth. That's part of their paid membership. That's why I believe that they're masquerading as a business, as the mob and the mafia, and their history of the mafia and of the Mormon militia. My mother worked for the Prophet downtown Salt Lake City. I very clearly understand. My mom was, and she died as a good saint. She did everything she could to keep me alive. But the idea that I keep listening to, that William Sheppard Jr. believes that he had to human sacrifice my children for the Latter-day Saint Church, is very disturbing when you guys continue to let him say this in my mind. He keeps saying the rites of passage, and it's doing disgusting things to my children's bodies and slowly eating them alive and doing disgusting things, and the tag is disgusting. All right, so I'm at 32:52. So I'm going to put this onto Facebook and see if that does anything to bring more people about how to fix that. Okay, so this phone says I only have 57 minutes, even though everything's cleared off of it. So I don't know. It's saying I have 57 minutes and 33 seconds in film time on this. Yeah, I've been, well, my brother William Sheppard Jr. takes credit for clearing my drive, and they said it was Killian Shear. So that's the problem with this identity theft. I don't know if my brother William Sheppard Jr. is really pretending to be Killian Shear, or Killian Shear is pretending to be William Sheppard Jr. That's the problem without true identity that I'm having with this situation. I don't have proof, and I know that these people who talk in your mind know that they can't prove it, and that's the problem. Taking over my voice. That's the other thing too, is I know the technology enough to know that when these medical professionals originally in the 70s, they were required to spend their time educating you, having it where they were excited that a little teeny baby or young toddler could read out of an encyclopedia, and how you could make it where I could sing and I could dance and I could do anything. And it was just the most brilliant thing to my mother. She'd call me Shirley Temple, and then just giving me different names as they create different characters and script me in different movies, which basically I have other people pretending to be me, but they would take those moments, and I've seen those moments on film my entire life. And I thought that it was because I was in witness protection. That was my belief most of my life, why I thought I would always be infamous, and that this was not being about famous, and this was about my life being about going to the right people. It was my understanding that the government protects the people, not only politicians, but people in Hollywood. And because those are the people producing my film, And my moments, it wasn't, okay, someone's talking, go ahead. Yeah, they do. uh, Mormons, they don't like to be called Mormon, but that is the Book of Mormon, and the statement is that they utilized my money to recreate in 1978 the Book of Mormon with my money in my augmented reality, which has started the investigation years prior to that. But I was very aware that not only I owned properties in different states, Florida, California, Utah, uh, and Colorado were the four main ones that I was aware at the very early age, early 70s. But that by 1978, because they reprinted about the black community, African Americans getting, priesthood callings, but what it was really about is holding them hostage. And that the belief was that I was told that I looked like a little American Indian girl. I had very dark skin, and I even had my mother's family call me a black, or call me a Negro, because according to them, their belief is that someone who looks American Indian um, is also an African American in their belief here in America. Well, I've been told since my mom died that my brother William Sheppard Jr. believes that I am American Indian, and that my father, William Sheppard Sr., has sworn under oath is the statements that I was given on audio that they played, stating that I was not his real daughter as a pale white man. Well, there's no pausing the live. We're at 40 minutes, 17 seconds on my video here. I have it 44 minutes, and I only have 57 minutes and 33 seconds available. I did state that William Sheppard Jr. kept bragging inside my mind. I could tell it was his voice, stating that he is going to never let anyone know who I am. That he has on the property of trespassing on my property, able to log into Google. I have not been able to retrieve all my videos or my pictures of my documentary that I was producing, the amount of money I've spent, the fact that he posted on Zillow the house, 116 pictures is what I recollect, of the house of my mother, $500,000 house that I was paying the utilities, the insurance, and the taxes. And I did take care of my mother for 20 years. I continued to go from Colorado to Utah back and forth for those 20 years, almost every 90 days. I never got a cent. I did it where I paid for anything and everything, and I always have, and that makes me their prostitute. Even though the Latter-day Saints, the very few times they've ever helped me, but they have lived off of my money. They've taken my money, they utilize my money, and they, like everybody else, has to, because it's my augmented reality. So right now it's my testimony that being that my mom passed away, giving me full rights to what was already mine, and the fact that I already have nothing to do with William Sheppard Sr. to give him any rights to my money. So at this point right now, I'm demanding my money so that that way I can pay people, because it's my belief that I need to deal with Social Security Administration where I'm listening to celebrities. And I don't want to script your names. So no, I don't want to, because then you guys just take over. Every time, the more people you script into the script line, the more they're on your property, they're in your mind, and they're taking over, and they want you to script their names. And I don't want to script your names. I'm asking for you to take their names off the script. Well, the reason why I have to mention my family is because I now have a court hearing that's going to have to be coming up December 3rd to deal with the fact that they are lying. I believe they're cheaters. I know my father's a felon. I do believe my brother needs to be. I mean, he full-time has done all these horrible things, and I'm going to have to prove all that. And the United States government's going to have to use all the documentation to prove exactly what he's been doing. But to know that Shirlene has been a thief my whole life, she has not been a credible person. Her children have been prostitutes, have made money, have been in and out of prison. My children, on the other hand, are innocent, which is why they're victims of the Latter-day Saint Church. You want to be targeted. If you're innocent, you will be. Because I only want to give money to Latter-day Saints who lie, cheat, steal, who are part of their devil worshiping, their witchcraft, and their fake world impersonating other people, pretending to be dead people, and lie for a living. I mean, they don't tell the truth. That's what a Temple Mormon does. They don't tell the truth. That's part of their oath, their blood oath. They have a suicide pact. They have a law of vengeance, and they have an extinction order. And you absolutely cannot believe a thing they say, because they intend to make sure and ensure that nothing gets done, nobody makes any money. And that's why we're in the situation we're in with Social Security Administration, because they make up all these fake rules and they cheat, and it doesn't matter what they do. They use remote viewing to cheat, and they take your money, and they find a way to take your houses, your cars, and they want to leave you homeless, and they want you dead. So they can make money from your funeral, they can take your house, they can take your life, and they can pretend to be you, and they can pretend to be your children, and they can use your Social Security numbers, and they use Social Security to do it. And you got anything from espionage to racketeering, insider trading, indictments. I mean, you know, the fact that, you know, there's already $100 billion in slush fund money they found, a whistleblower from the IRS. I mean, the fact that the documentary with 60 Minutes was great, but the amount that we could go into when you start really disclosing the fact that they purposely and intentionally are deceptive. That is their cult. That is their beliefs. For priesthood holders, it is their job to cover from each other and lie, and it doesn't matter what it is, their job is to lie. That makes them organized crime. They're criminals for a living. If you're going to continue letting them utilize Social Security Administration to hold Americans and the world economy at hostage. Well, they are identity thieves, and they absolutely are full-time identity thieves. And they are fraudulent, and they are fraudsters. And they're utilizing remote viewing. Then you need to figure out, I feel like the United States government must at this point do something, because they continue to put us all at risk while they're threatening our lives, which is terrorism. So my point is that they need to be put as terrorists. They are terrorists. They threaten to put coolant in a gas tank, in my lawnmower, and in my car. They threaten to put a poison in the mail. They claimed that when I would leave the house, that they would put poison in the food and they would ruin the food supply. They brag about spreading diseases. They brag about holding people in hostage situations and calling everybody their slaves and ownership. They believe they own us. Temple Mormon white men believe they own us. They run a prostitution ring, and there's no doubt about it. There's 49 years of investigations, and the idea that they think they can delete all of those investigations now that's what's crazy. Okay, we're at 42 minutes. I'm going to have to upload or do something with this on my phone. And then that way you can call me live on this phone, because I'm literally going to be out of minutes soon. So you don't have much more time, people. You know, I'm live right now on YouTube for 47 minutes. So are you going to call me on the phone? You continue to say you're going to launch this story and you're going to prove something. Now, a few minutes ago, you said that you're showing graphic details, and you've done it over and over and over, since 2019. Since 2019. And all you do is you tie up the line with anybody and everybody else's story but mine. And it's my money. It's my story you're in. That's my testimony. This is my augmented reality. This is Susan Sheppard. Now, this is my story you're in. It is my money, and you must publish my story. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and upload this at this point and wait for them to give me a call, because they continue to act like they're going to do something, and now it's already 8:22. So let's call me on the actual phone. Thank you. All right. Well, let's see what we can do. I mean, go to this right here and see, because that video is almost out of time. I need to do something about what's happening. So I got breakfast ends at 9. So I mean, I might as well get an apple and maybe another orange and some coffee. I haven't had my coffee today yet. So I mean, I was told to come up here and set up like as if Biden was going to be notified and I was actually going to get a phone call. But I've been hearing that since April 2022. So at this point, is the president of the United States in existence? I mean, are you going to act like you don't know, or they keep erasing his mind and then going to claim misinformation? I don't know at this point what they're going to do. Hello, hello. Snap out of it. Okay. Until it happens to your children or you and you get human sacrificed. I don't know, maybe they're making a comment to other people's comments. Well, anyway, my tongue's been cut. It's very clear that I was held hostage. It is my testimony. I was held hostage. Christmas is coming up. Are you going to be safe knowing that your children are going to be put underground or held hostage at a school, in public school, by a Latter-day Saint? Or in a hospital and human tortured and disappeared? You won't know where your children go. Well, God bless America. I sure hope one day that there is peace. Because my brother, William Sheppard Jr., has declared a religious war, and he calls himself the Antichrist. And he says I'm in the film of the son of perdition. All right.